In this video, we are going to further explore finding the percent of a number. So in the first set of guided notes, you recall that we were finding the missing part when you're given the percentage and the whole. In this one, we're going to further explain how you can use the equation or the proportion to solve for the missing whole or solve for the missing percentage. So it's the same equation and the same setup, just the bit that's missing and you need to solve for changes. Okay, so let's review really quick. So we remember that percent, if we break it apart, per means out of, and cent means 100. So percent just means out of 100. And I just put the little percent there sign for you because that's the symbol that we use for percent. And we explored a problem that looks like this. What is 35% of 40? And we can use each part of this to make an equation. So the what, that's the unknown. So that becomes our variable. That's the x, that's your solving for. Is, that's equals. What is 35%? Now, 35%, remember, is out of 100. So we're going to convert that to its equivalent decimal. So 35 out of 100, you think of it in hundredths. So it becomes 35 hundredths, or 0.35 of, that's multiply, 40. That's just 40, so that's your whole. So your missing part, you have the percentage, and there is your whole. So you can use that to solve for your x. Now I can do my multiplication, but I can just recall from last time that we had x equals 14. So 14 is 35% of 40. I can also solve this problem by setting it up as a proportion. So I'm going to set on one side of my proportion the percentage. So 35 is my percent, and that's out of 100, because percent means out of 100. And I'm going to set that equal to, and I'm going to recall a formula where I remember the is going to be above. So what is, that's the unknown, so x over the of. What is my of, or my whole? That's 40. So I put that below. So another little formula you can use to remember is percent out of 100 equals is over of. So is, what is, that's your unknown. That's going to be the numerator. Of 40, that's going to be the denominator. There. So I can set up and then solve for my proportion that way using any of the strategies you recall from solving proportions. Okay, so now that we have the background there, let's jump into this wheel. So we'll start with this side. The part equals the percent times the whole. This is the formula that you know. So we're going to go ahead and use it to find what is 20% of 50. Now we have this set up in the other way. So what is, that's going to be over here. That's going to be our x. 20%, that's going to be 0.2 or 0.20 because it's 20 out of 100 of 50. There we go. So times, and then 50, that's my whole. So if I do that out long ways, 0.2 times 50, my x value is going to be 10. So x equals 10, or 10 equals x. So 20% of 50 is 10. I can also set it up using this, my is over of, so percent out of 100. So they know, they give me the 20%. Is, so what is, so that's the variable, over the of 50. There we go. And now I can solve for that proportion. So I can see to go from 100 to 50, I'm dividing by 2. So I can divide this by, excuse me, I can divide that by 2. So x is going to be 10. All right, so now we're going to get into some new territory. What if, instead of looking for the missing part, what if the whole is the part that's missing, and they want you to solve for that? So let's read this example. 95 is 25% of what number? So if I kind of dissect that, I can see that the whole is missing, the what number or the of is missing. So I can set that up using my original equation. I'm gonna put it over to the side. X equals percentage, or the part equals the percentage times the whole. Okay, so 95 is, so that's going to be the part. So 95 is going to go here. 25%, that's 0.25 of what number? So that's going to be now my unknown. I should have put part here. That's probably confusing to you. Erase that, put part. There we go. Okay, so I know that I want to get the x by itself. So I'm going to rearrange my equation to get the x by itself. So in order to do that, I need to get rid of this 0.25. So that means I divide by 0.25 from both sides. Divide by 0.25. All right, so now I have x equals 95 all over 0.25. Okay, so ignore this part for now. So if I bring that over here, I'm basically then saying my whole, that's my unknown, or my x value, is 95 all over 0.25. And then I can solve that, and that will give me my x value. And notice, we have here whole equals part divided by percentage. So you can just set it up using this layout, which is using our original equation, and then rearranging to isolate the variable and solving for the whole. So 95 divided by 0.25, that's going to be the same thing as 95 times 4. So that's going to be 380. And notice how it's 380 equals 95 over 0.25. All right, now if you prefer the proportion way, you can do it over here. So the percent over 100, so they give us 25%. So I'm going to put 25 over 100. And it's going to be set equal to is over of. So 95 is. So that one is the is, that's the numerator. So 95 goes on top. And then of what number? So the of is the unknown. So what number? That's what you're solving for. So there's your x. Okay, so now I can use the strategies for solving a proportion to solve for x. So that might be looking within. So to go from 25 to 100, that's times 4. So I can apply that times 4 over here. Times 4. So it's basically 95 times 4, which we've already done. That's going to be 380. X equals 380. All right, so the last one is when you don't know what the percentage is. They give you the part, they give you the whole, and you find the percentage. So what percent of 15 is 12? So 12 is the part, 15 is the whole, and you want to find the percentage. Now, this one actually, I like to think of it as this is your, like finding your grade on something. Like you got this many points, this is out of this many points possible, and you just divide the numerator by the denominator, and then you get the percentage in decimal form. So what percent of 15 is 12? So you're going to do is, that's 12 over 15. So 12 divided by 15. And that's going to be 0.8 or 80%. Now I can also set that up as a proportion. So the percent out of 100 is equal to, and then is over of. So here is 12 of 15. And then I solve for that proportion. I can use the cross multiplication. I can use within, I can use between, any method. So again, it's just a different way to manipulate our original part whole percent equation in a different way so that the percent is by itself. All right, so these following examples we are going to be using as our warm-up or our follow-up for next class. So be prepared to solve these using these various setups. All right, that's it.